All right, hello everybody. Welcome to What's Up Wednesday for November 9th, 2022. I'm your host for the call today, Jake Barron, Head of Operations for the Americas. And we've got some amazing guests, amazing co-hosts on the call today. Adriana might be joining us later on the call. We'll see if she's going to be available to get out of the appointment she's currently at, but hopefully we'll get a guest appearance from her later on the call. But if not, we are here to guide you through today's call. So go ahead and want to welcome everybody. If you've never been to this call before, we're got a lot of company updates, and we have a special guest on our call, Andrea Page, and we've got an excellent presentation on supporting your immune system for the holidays. So we are going to definitely go into that, but we wanted to go ahead first. Again, this is the agenda that we have here. We're going to go, instead of going into the operations updates, we're going to start with the November promos. I'm going to share it. There's a ton of promos going on, of course. There's huge promos for November here. And we've got some operations updates that I wanted to cover as well. And then again, we're going to have that segment with Andrea Page, and then just a reminder at the end of our big virtual event we have coming up on Saturday, November 19th. So we're going to go ahead and get right into, again, we have all our disclaimers here for the US. So those are available on our website, also on this call. And then, yes, November promotions. I know we've got a lot of people here on the call from all over the country, all over the world. We've got people from outside of the Americas as well. So everyone certainly welcome. But again, this information that we're presenting is specifically for our Americas hub here. But these promotions are global though. So again, we're going to go through these pretty quick because we went through them already on Frequencies and Friends last week. But we've got some outstanding promotions where you can, this month, if you purchase a Healy Resonance or higher, you're going to get a free Healy Gold Edition. And it's perfect, perfect way to get an extra Healy in advance of the holidays. If you wanted to gift that to somebody later this year, this is a perfect opportunity to take advantage of that offer. And again, in addition to that, not only do you get the free Healy, but you're also getting 45% off of each of our Healy editions this month as well, which is, of course, a huge savings, and definitely perfect for this time of the year. So again, this is, this details are available on your flyer that you got. They're also available in back office, but if you want to find out the details on how that affects Fast Start and QV as well, that is all available there. And again, this is something that this is a big deal for a lot of people here that have been with Healy for a while. Actually, not just Healy for a while, before November 1st, essentially some of these upgrades are valid for, but from November 21st through the 27th, you're going to be available to upgrade your Resonance as long as it was purchased before November 1st to a professional for just 499 euros. So that works out to, right around 600 USD. And then the Resonance Plus to professional for 300 euro, just under 400 USD there. So again, there's that one. More details of this are going to be sent out via an email newsletter. I believe that's going out later this week, specifically about the upgrade and which category you might fall into, because there's been that question, well, what if I have a really, really old device, firmware version before 226? How does that, affect me? And you'll see on the bottom here, there's a note that says you'll have the opportunity to change your device for 100 euro. So this is actually, everybody will be able to buy this upgrade. And what's going to happen if you fall into this, the very few people that are in that category, you're going to be contacted by email and given the opportunity to complete the exchange at that point. So most devices that are 226, 95% of them can actually be upgraded. So there's very, very few that actually won't be able to be upgraded and will need to be exchanged. But if you want to know how to check for your firmware version, you just go to, we have both apps up here. We have the current Healy Pink Dot app, and we have the new Healy app too. So in the Pink Dot app, you just go to information, and then you'll see there, I've got it highlighted. where he says your Healy firmware is, and then also in the new Healy app, it's a little bit easier to see, but you'll see your firmware is available in the MagHealy section there too. So simple to kind of find there. And again, there'll be more communication going out over the next couple of days into next week as far as how to take advantage of this opportunity. So once November 21st rolls around, you will be able to go right into the purchase. So Lori, the question here, the exact upgrade on 226 or older, it's actually, you purchase the upgrade up front, and then if you have a device that actually can't be upgraded, again, we expect this to be a handful of people, you will be contacted by email and given instructions on how to complete that exchange of the device for the €100. So that process is still being finalized now, but everything will be clear and available for everybody before this goes live on the 21st. We'll probably have the final details next week on What's Up Wednesday to share with everybody. So, and we will certainly share that as soon as you can. And this promo here, I think this one is my favorite for the month. This is a tremendous opportunity to get a MagHealy for free. We've had the promo that we had last month. If you successfully referred 3 new members or customers to Healy with a resonance or higher, and then there was a part 2 last month in order to earn that MagHealy, where you had to get one of those 3 to then enroll 3, become team manager as well. This month it's simple, very, very simple. Successfully refer 3 new members or customers throughout the entire month of November with a resonance or higher, and you get a MagHealy worth over $3,000. So this is an amazing opportunity. I know a lot of people have already purchased the MagHealy, but if you haven't, maybe you were waiting for some sort of promotion like this to take advantage of in order to earn one for free. This is certainly the time. This is an awesome opportunity with all the other promos going on this month. I think we're gonna have a ton of people qualify for it. You notice there that it's unlimited cycles possible. So if you get 6, successfully refer 6 with a resonance or higher, you're gonna get 2 MagHealys in the month, and then so on and so on. So this is certainly anything, we want to get this message out there to as many people as possible, that this is a great way and a great promo for everyone to shoot for. It's a very attainable promo as well. That it's simple. Just do 3 and that's it, and you're good. And a MagHealy will be on its way to you shortly. So again, please share this with everybody on your teams. The flyers available out there as well. There's an email newsletter too, and we'll be talking about this, of course, as the month goes on. And we're working on some ways throughout this month to communicate to people that are close, whether you've gotten just 1 and you need 2 more. If you have 2, to make it clear to people that, hey, you just need 1 more person for the end of the month to earn your MagHealy. So we're working on those as well, because we want to make sure that everyone is aware of the promo and then where they stand with the promo as well. So lots more to come on that. So, okay, again, the terms and conditions just here. Just wanted to, again, these are available in your back office, and in the email, there's a flyer link to it too. So certainly take a look at that. And okay, so on the promo side, we're going to move a little bit into some of the tech things. And Ken, this is something that came up on Tech Tip Tuesday last night. We had another great call. Recording will be available on our Healy Americas YouTube page shortly. But there's been a bunch of changes with going from the Healy Pink Dot app to the new Healy app, and then the updates have been made to the new Healy app over time. So the new Healy app is the brand new app. That is the one that's going to take place of, or completely replace, the Healy Pink Dot app. But since it's brand new, it's still being optimized for the Healy device. It came out first for the MagHealy, now optimized for the Healy, and there's little tweaks and improvements that are made over time. So at first, when it first came out about a month ago, if you had in the Healy Pink Dot app, there was a black line and a white line. You didn't want that line to be black, you wanted that line to be white, which shows you your proper conductivity, everything's working properly. In the new Healy app, when it first came out, there was actually instead of a black line, it was a gray rectangle across the middle. It's a fixed image. That meant that you needed to do something to change it, increase the intensity, hydration, put water on the wristbands, check the cables. And that was replaced about 2 weeks ago with a message that just says current flow insufficient. And we had some questions, of course, what that means from people. But then just recently in the last week or so, that current flow insufficient was replaced with another message that just says a frequency is generated, but no measurable current is flowing. Please increase the intensity first and then check the electrodes and cables. So again, it's giving you tips of what to do if you have that issue. So essentially, if you see this message, it's the same as getting the black line in the Healy pink dot app. So all you need to do is first thing you want to try to do is adjust the intensity, put some water under the wristbands, drink some water yourself, check the cables, make sure they're plugged in properly, check sure there's no tears or anything on the cables, the wristbands are tight. So again, it's certainly it's helpful to have the actual words there because you don't have to guess as far as what it means. So Ken, anything to add on to that from what we discussed last night?
No, it was we did an example last night on the call to show like the various frequencies and intensity may change based on the frequency being applied, because anything below about 400 hertz tends to require a little more power. So we did a live demonstration. So I highly recommend taking a look at that recording, and you'll see how it functions and works. But yeah, we did great. Thanks for that explanation, Jake.
Sure.
I have something to add, Jake.
Yeah, sure.
So many people, when they receive their Healy, or even people that have had their Healys for a while, don't realize that they need to download the third app, which is the Advisor app, and make sure that the intensity is set to high, because it comes in default at low intensity. So one of the reasons I have found with some members that have called me is that they didn't adjust the intensity to high, and they're getting the insufficient flow or the black line frequently. And once they switch that over to the high intensity, that sometimes solves the issue also.
Yeah, good point. So yeah, you can check that in the Heal Advisor app. And actually, I'm going to go back because I think I have this screenshot here. Yeah, so you'll see this is my Healy device here, and then to go to change the current, you go to the Heal Advisor app. If you can actually check to see which current setting it's set to in your Healy app too. So I don't have it highlighted here, but if you look at the configuration here, it says Healy 60 SPS 38 US. If it's SPS, that means that it is the high current setting. If it's STS, so T as in Tom, if that P is a T instead, that means it's set to the low current. So you can kind of check to see if it's what it's set to first, if you weren't sure. If it's set to STS and you want to change it to high current, as Doc Steve said, go to the Heal Advisor app, go to the My Healy section. You can adjust from the low current to the high current within there. But anytime you do that, just keep in mind also, after you adjust the current, you have to go into your Healy Pink Dot app and check for updates, because it's going to pull in the new configuration to your device. So that's an important step in there too. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this screen for a minute. I'm going to go show you some other new features that I wasn't available to kind of join in on last week's call, but I wanted to show you couple new things available. The first one, let me just get my browser up here. Okay. We're going to show you the new Klarna feature that's available in the US shop. So let me go ahead and okay, let me share this. Okay, so this is just the standard US shop, and then say we've had people ask, if people can find out before they get to the checkout process if they're actually pre-qualified with Klarna to buy Healy, a MagHealy, whatever the case may be. But now if you go to, let's just pick the Healy Professional Edition. And then when this comes up here, you'll see here at the top, it says pay as low as $169 a month, Klarna, see if you're pre-qualified. So if you click on see if you're pre-qualified, it's going to take you to a Klarna screen. It's going to ask for just basic information, name, address, last four of the social, and it's going to check and it's going to tell you, yes, you're pre-qualified. So before you even go into the whole process, get super excited, and then maybe you go through the checkout process and maybe didn't quite meet the qualification there, you can kind of find out in advance, and you can just change the order total. Just because I clicked on professional, say you wanted to see if you're qualified for a MagHealy that's $3,000 or something like that, you can just type in the amount that you want to check for, and this is available on all the Healy edition pages. So again, you can also, if you add it to your cart, it's available there too. So actually I have one in my cart right now. Let me just move over to there, and you'll see this message is available there also at the bottom here. And you'll see that pay as low as actually dropped, because on the actual item page itself, the discount isn't applied yet, but when you actually get to the cart, it's applied. So it's looking at the order total. So instead of $25.28, it's looking at $13.90. And that's how it's calculating the potential low payment there. But again, you can just click see if you're pre-qualified as well. So kind of it's been something that's been in the works. It's a little feature, but it's kind of adds to the overall user experience that we have here. So that is one of the things we wanted to cover here.
A question on that.
Yeah.
So if somebody clicks and says it says they're not pre-qualified, can they still go through Klarna with more information?
Yeah, you can either change the amount that you're looking for to check to see if you're pre-qualified, or you can actually go straight to maybe Klarna's app and do it through there and see what exactly that limit might be there. So it's not necessarily, if it says no there, that there's no chance. It's just it's an easier thing in the process to kind of check there and see, okay, yes, I am. Okay, I'm good to go. I can proceed with this order there. So
okay, thank you, Jay.
Yep. And yeah, okay. So next thing I wanted to show is we have a new support center. So a couple of questions. It's brand new, but if you go to help.healy.world, this is actually our new FAQ page, and we showed this on Tech Tip Tuesday last night as well. And this replaces the current FAQ page that's available on the Healy shop. So it's brand new. There's some tweaks and improvements and things that we're going to be making now that it's live, and we kind of get some feedback from people. But there's a ton more categories. If you've been through the old Healy FAQ page, you notice that it was pretty much just focused only on hardware, and it was kind of hard to navigate through, sort through. So there was categories for Healy hardware, Healy device, coil, watch, that kind of thing. And now we have all of those hardware categories, but we also have promotion, software, bonus, account, academy questions as well. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, it's simple to get to. Just go to help.healy.world. You can click on anything from here. And then if you can't find the answer to your question here, you can go to Support Center. So you can still get to Support Center from shop. So that was one of the questions that has come up, is that people have been logged into shop and they said, okay, normally, for example, maybe you've been able to go straight into Support Center. So I'll just show this real quick. It just takes a minute to kind of explain what I've been referring to here. So once just take another second. Okay, so I'm logged into my shop. Normally, up until a week or so ago, you would click on Support Center to submit a ticket, and it would take you right into Support Center. So this new Support Center is actually outside of the shop. It's a separate site, separate page, and this is temporary. So of course, this isn't very user-friendly to log into shop and then have to log into Support Center. There's a single sign-on feature that's currently being worked on in the final stages of development, to where it'll be, once you're logged in to shop, to back office, to academy, support center, whatever the case may be. You don't need to log in to go from one to the other. So that's a big improvement, because it's always been, or since the July of 2021, if you were logged into back office and wanted to go to shop, you had to log in to shop again. But now once you're logged in, it sees that, again, single sign-on, and then you can just go from one to the other. So that's a great new feature. But here, we're just going to click on this. I'm just going to log in with one of our test accounts here. And let's kind of show you one big change as far as how you submit a ticket. So here, it'll be similar. You'll see the tickets that you've submitted on your account. Let's say I want to submit a new case. It's going to take you to the next page. And then I'm just going to pick, I'm going to pick products, and I'm going to pick Healy coil. So this is the biggest improvement that we have here, is that on the old support center, it would recommend, depending on what category, just a general troubleshooting. It was something about Bluetooth connection. It wasn't always relevant to the question that you're asking, or the topic that you need help with. But now, when you click products and whatever you change the product to, it's going to give you the FAQs for the coil right here. So, of course, the idea is maybe the question that you're about to ask already has an answer here, and you don't need to submit a support ticket. So, again, this is a big step as far as making this more useful for everybody. So, for example, one of the big questions we get with a coil is, can somebody with, say, a pacemaker use it, or how long is the warranty? So, I say, what about people with pacemakers? Does the magnetic field of the Healy coil interfere with the action? Right, maybe that was the question I was going to ask. You just click on this, it opens a new window, and then it tells you, it says, no, there's no contraindication, therefore the Healy coil can be used. So if that answers your question, great. If not, you just go back to the window you were at before, continue, type in your question, description, and ask for the version, serial number, order number, that kind of thing. There's been a couple little things that we need to fix as far as some of the required fields. There was one of the things that's being worked on. There was one specific topic where the order number was required, even though it said it was optional. So that's something that's being addressed. It's ready going to be worked on here. But if there is something that you need to get past, say, order number, you don't have it handy, you can just type in a 6-digit number there, and it'll go through the next step. But I would think within the next week or so, everything will be resolved with that. So again, just wanted to point that out. We're gonna be making a new video. Ken, you mentioned it last night. We had a video on our Healy America's YouTube page on how to submit a support ticket, how to reply to a support ticket. So again, with the new support center, that information's outdated now. So we're going to be our tech support team is putting together new videos to kind of just give you a quick overview of the process to submit a support ticket and also reply to a ticket in this new support center. So, okay, I think that was it on here. I think I'm gonna let's see. Ken, anything to add? I think I covered most of this. Everything I did last night I covered, I think, here. But
you did, yeah. I mean, we're getting questions about mostly about the upgrade for that 2.2 version firmware.
Yeah. Okay.
And that clarity is coming, by the way, as to I mean, it's going to be available for everyone. Okay.
Perfect. All right. Well, Andrea, if you're there, we're gonna go over to you next. If you're there, just go ahead and unmute if you can, and we'll go into our next segment that everyone's waiting for.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, Andrea, how are you?
I'm awesome, thanks.
So normally Adriana gets to introduce our guest, but I have the pleasure of introducing Andrea on today's call. And for those of you that don't know her, she's a neuroscientist and holistic health practitioner and a cancer coach who's deeply devoted to empowering others in their health and wellness journey. And there's a lot more to that, I know. And I think Colette in this video that we're going to show kind of goes into even more detail. But Andrea, do you want to maybe just give people a quick overview of what they're about to see in this great 20-minute video?
Sure. So Colette asked me if I would be interested in presenting on how to support our immune system in the holiday season using frequencies and a naturopathic approach. So I've put together ways to boost your immune system through food and frequencies and lifestyle practices. So that is what I will be diving into in the presentation.
Okay. Great. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start this video, and then we'll be, kind of monitoring the chat and helping out any questions that come up along the way. And then once this is over, if there's any other questions that we need to address, we can kind of go into a little bit of those as well. So, okay. All right, let me go back to sharing my screen and we'll get this started. Okay.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much. I am really excited to have Andrea Page here with us today. Andrea is a neuroscientist and a holistic health practitioner and a cancer coach who is deeply devoted to empowering others in their health and wellness journey. She offers a very unique perspective, having worked in healthcare for over a decade, primarily in radiology oncology, quickly realizing the gaps that existed in conventional health and cancer care. Andrea began to do her own research and study alternative and complementary therapies. She is currently completing her PhD in integrative medicine with research dedicated to frequency-focused therapy and empowerment. Andrea's coaching combines the wisdom of naturopathy, neuroscience, and frequencies, body, mind, and energy. Andrea also has really been putting a lot of content out there for the field of Healy, working along with Chad Fisher and Cassie Jackson with their new program called The Resonance Connection. And twice a month, Andrea has been hosting calls called the Wellness Wednesday. And so when we wanted to host a call specifically on how to support our immune systems with the seasons changing, I knew it'd be perfect to bring Andrea on and have her share how she supports herself and her clients and their immune system with frequencies. And so it is that time of year. Winter is coming. All of you Game of Thrones people, I had to say that. And so Andrea, I would love to have you come on and share more about how you are using this, using the Healy for your immune system. So thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me. So yeah, as seasons are changing, our immune system can be triggered in a lot of ways, especially if you live in a place that's going to be cold soon. So learning the ways that we can bolster our immune system, both with the Healy, but also just in lifestyle practices, is really helpful to mitigate any kind of sickness as we transition in these seasons. So our immune system is a network of organs, cells, of proteins, and basically their job is to move around the body and try and detect any pathogens, so any foreign substances in the body. They latch onto those, so whether that's bacteria, viruses, whether it's toxins, they latch onto them and they try to neutralize them and eliminate them. And so it really is our protection mechanism, our defense system in a way, and yeah, so it's a really extensive network, as you can see in the infographic that I have with the green. So it shows all the different parts. So there's many parts of the immune system, but really what I always talk about is that 70 to 80% of our immune system is actually in our digestive system. So in our gut, it's in the linings of in the cells, all of the white blood cells, they're moving throughout the body, but primarily the gut and the immune system are interconnected in such an intimate way. And so a big part of keeping a strong immune system is also gut health. And as you work on one, the other one gets balanced as well. And so it's always good measure to have a healthy digestive system. So whether that is through, nutrition, supplements, detoxification, which is a big theme for me right now, as well as we prepare. Detoxing in the fall is a great way to prep for winter and boosting the immune system, because we're clearing out the toxins so that our immune system can be strong as we transition into this next, into winter. So what are some things that weaken our immune system? Chronic stress is probably the biggest one. Lack of sleep or poor quality sleep, diet, exercise or lack of exercise. Dehydration, I'm constantly talking about hydration in all of my talks with all of my clients, like, are you drinking enough water? Whether they say they have a headache or whether their hormones are imbalanced, or it's like hydration is like foundational for me. It's also super important when we're working with frequencies. Hydration is so important for the conductance of the frequencies, especially with microcurrents. So some other things that weaken our immune system, obviously, are things that are adding toxins into our bodies. So things like smoking, alcohol use, negative thoughts and emotions. This is a big one that's a really big topic right now. I see it a lot in the field about trauma healing, you know, a lot around belief systems and negative thought patterns. So really working on these has an effect on the immune system. 70% of our serotonin is actually made in our gut and then sent to our brain. Serotonin is what makes us feel good. It's like our happy hormone, along with dopamine. And so having a strong digestive system helps our immune system, helps our neurotransmitters, helps us feel really good. Some other things, and this has been quite prevalent in the last couple of years, is sort of an isolation, lack of connection and social interaction with other people. So I'm so happy that people are getting out more and connecting with others, because it has a really strong effect on our immune system. In my experience, because I've been working in the cancer field for almost 2 decades now, there's a really great book called Radical Remission, and she talks about these 9 factors that contribute to people that have spontaneous remissions in cancer. And a big one is the social interaction. Actually, interestingly, only 3 things on that list actually have to do with like nutrition and supplements and physical parameters. All the other ones are social and emotional. So what are some other things? Lack of sunshine, fresh air, getting out in nature. These things are so important for us. I heard Taryn talking with Dr. Michelle Patrick last week, and they were talking about grounding, walking outside barefoot, getting the ions and the electrons coming up through our body is really great for charging the immune system as well. So getting the last bit of that in before the snow falls or it gets cold and you can't do that anymore, that's a really great way as well. So conversely, from other things, in terms of our signs of a weakened immune system, high stress levels, or you feel like even though you have stress management techniques in place, they're not working. So feeling this sense of overwhelm. If you have increased anxiety more so than like what is maybe normal for you, any kind of digestive troubles or digestive woes, you know, that indicates that there's some digestive imbalance, which always goes along with a weakened immune system. Sleep challenges, especially if you're waking up in the middle of the night, like at the same time every night or around the same time, that usually kind of indicates an organ imbalance. So detoxing is great for that as well. Feeling tired all of the time, lethargy, low energy, brain fog, these are huge ones that can indicate that maybe the immune system could use support. Frequent infections or like getting colds quite a bit, having a persistent cough. These are all things that are quite, they depress our immune system in a lot of ways. Any kind of skin reactions, our skin is our largest organ. And so quite often when we have skin manifestations, that is an indication that the immune system could use some strengthening as well. So what are some things that we can do to strengthen our immune system? Hydration, my number one go-to, and also being mindful of the quality of water that you're drinking is really important too. A nutrient-rich diet, whole natural foods, reducing any processed or packaged food is always really good. So everything that goes into our mouth is, you know, contributes to our health, our digestive health, as I was saying, so it really strengthens our immune system. Regular physical activity. Movement is amazing for the immune system because it gets the lymphatic system doesn't have pumps like our blood system does. So we have to move in order to get things flowing. And the lymphatic system is part of the immune system. And so exercise is really great for that. It doesn't have to be high intensity walking, any kind of movement, you know, just moving your body on a daily basis for 20 to 30 minutes. You know, if you're starting out, just start gentle, but exercise is an amazing one for immune system. Also really great for hormone balance, mood improvement, helps with the anxiety if you're having any of that. Some other things are getting outside, as I said, getting the sunshine, fresh air, direct sunlight on our skin for, you know, 5 to 20 minutes per day. having some stress reduction techniques. So whether that is mindfulness, meditation, some people that is exercise for them, but just finding what works for you so that you can feel grounded and balanced is always going to contribute to strengthening your immune system. Working on positive thoughts, really assessing our belief systems, doing that healing to really release. We can store memories, experiences, traumas in our cells, in our tissues. And so, you know, looking at that stuff, and the Healy can be amazing for diving deeper into that, especially with the coaching module and the aura analysis for kind of uncovering what is there and running the frequencies to really clear that energy, bolsters the immune system. And then, as I said, social interaction, you know, getting out and having that interaction with people, even if it's online, but just having that connection to other people is really important. And then, of course, we can use frequencies to help support our immune system. Another one of my favorite talks. So Gold Cycle, anybody that knows me knows that I love hydration, and Gold Cycle are like my two go-tos. So Gold Cycle is really amazing for the immune system, but really working at the bioterrain level. So really optimizing cellular health, the connective tissue, the cell communication between the two. And it's really foundational to optimize the environment within our body to bolster our immune system. So care is really focused on the immune system, but balance as well. Anything that's flowing through the body, its lymphatic system, its hormones, its blood flow. Pure, of course, is the foundational one. It's really meant to detox on all levels. And then if you are experiencing high stress, high anxiety, using the relax and the release is really great for our nervous system. Again, because everything is interconnected, a calm nervous system, when we're in more of the parasympathetic state, can really be helpful for bolstering our immune system as well. The next one is bioenergetic support. So the bioenergetic boost was actually designed by Healy to support our immune system in the bioenergetic realm, which is really amazing because we always want to look at things from the inside and the outside. So what are we doing? What are we eating? What are the water that we're drinking to really support our immune system on a physical level, but also what are we doing on an energetic level? And so the bioenergetic boost is really great for really looking at both of those realms of the internal and external energetic environment. Coherence is a nice one too, brings our heart and our mind into balance, which is really great for our immune system as well. The next one, bioenergetic harmony. So these are like our digital first aids. So if you're having symptoms of immune system or that your immune system needs support, these ones are amazing for that. We have the immune system in bioenergetic harmony 1, chilling. If you're having any mucous membranes that are activated, then using the chilling. I love this one for my kids. If they're having a fever, I run the chilling and it's amazing for really bringing that down. Hypersensitivity is an allergic response, which is our immune system being activated and having these physical manifestations. So if you are having that allergy symptoms or you feel like your immune system is weakening, then using hypersensitivity can be amazing for bringing it back into balance or relieving allergic reactions. And then nerves, again, if the manifestation for you in immunity is manifesting more like stress or nervous system dysregulation, anxiety, depression, running one's frequency programs that are focused on the nerves are really, really incredibly supportive. And then bioenergetic harmony 2. There's a lot in here: bacteria, toxins, tonsils, gastrointestinal, which supports the immune system. All of these are really geared towards if you already have a pathogen in your body. So if you already have a physical manifestation of immune system depression, these ones are really great for helping the body move the pathogens out and then bolstering the energy around it to boost our immune system on an energetic level. So these ones are always my go-to if you're having symptoms, you feel like your immune system is already being kicked into gear, to use these ones to support it. And then I like to follow up with meridian systems, because it's like we're dealing with the immediate response, the activation within the body, and then the meridians are optimizing the flow of that energy, so moving it. So we gotta, the immune system will attack the pathogens, and then we want to be able to move them out. So kind of like a detox.
Frustrating, huh?
Depending on how it's manifesting, depending on which meridian systems that you're using, but system, Our kidneys, always a favorite, kidneys and liver, because our liver, once our body, our immune system neutralizes the pathogens, it's really our liver that moves them out of our body. And so running liver frequencies to support that if you're feeling depressed, your immune system's depressed. Any of the digestive organs within meridians as well is really wonderful for supporting the immune system. And then some of my favorite ones, so we have digital nutrition. So digital nutrition mixtures number 3 is focused on the immune system. So immune system, lymphatic system, toxins, antioxidants, these ones are all really geared at supporting, giving the frequencies of these, the nutrients, the supplements that are in these ones. I love digital nutrition, and definitely for supporting the immune system. There's so many in here. I just picked the ones that have that are focused on the immune system specifically for this talk. And then lastly, we have the power 3. Oh, these ones are supportive frequencies. So again, if it's a nervous system dysregulation, if you're feeling stressed, if you're tired all the time, if you feel like you could use more emotional and mental balance, Healy has so many programs that you can use to support that. But mental balance is amazing. The jobs program, which are really sleep and stress frequencies, and also positive mindset, mental clarity. These ones are really amazing for, I see these ones as more supportive for the immune system peripherally. So really kind of moving more towards nervous system regulation to work in synergy with a strong immune system. So it's really so many to choose from. And then Power of 3, also some of my favorite programs. So these ones are really geared towards strengthening digestive fortitude. So defense support, conflict balance, friendly flora. These ones are all geared towards the digestive system, which will also bolster the immune system. And then if there is a pathogenic response within the body, so the immune system has already been activated, the Zapper protocol, the classical physical and classical energetic, which are right frequencies. These ones are really great for supporting the immune system as well. And then rebalance, it's like 102 minutes of bliss. That one turns me around 180 degrees. So I try to run rebalance once a week, actually, along with the Zapper protocol. And this one really keeps my immune system strong. And then,
That's
what do we have?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so some of the naturopathic protocols that I love and use and recommend to my clients. So there's so many wonderful teas and elixirs that you can make to bolster the immune system. Anything with ginger, honey, turmeric, lemon. So even just simple things like lemon in water in the morning starts the detoxification process. It can bolster the immune system, even just doing that. I love to wake up, have some lemon in water, do a breath work because it's activating the lungs and really bolstering or starting that detoxification process on so many different levels. Colloidal silver is my go-to for my kids and I because it has no flavor, so my kids love it and it's really great for the immune system. Medicinal mushrooms, same thing, reishi, chaga. Well, there's so many now that you can get. You can get blends. I like to recommend blends to my clients because you're getting the beta glucans and you're getting the different nutrients that's within all the different mushrooms because they all offer different remedies, I guess. And so I like to offer or suggest blends for my clients. And then I also love to use essential oils. So many of the essential oils are naturally immune boosting and can move toxins out of your household. So lemon, peppermint, eucalyptus, tea tree oil. There's so many of these that you can have. So in the wintertime, I use my diffuser all the time, at least when I lived in Canada, maybe less so in the tropics, but we don't have winter. But there's so many things that you can do with the immune system. But really, I would say that the key ones are managing your stress, hydrating, and then, focusing on optimal nutrition, whatever that means for you. And then sleep is another one, and then movement. So those are sort of my top 5, and then using the frequencies to support that.
Yes, amazing. Thank you so much, Andrea. And I love that you called it the digital first aid kit, and I know you mentioned your children, and I know that I use frequencies for my family as well. And just, being able to scan and figure out what's going on. And I know, and so you mentioned the kidneys and things like that. And so would you suggest kidneys being meridians, or would you say using the deep cycle kidneys Is one the other? Would you say supportive more for the immune system?
I mean, I guess it depends on whether you are supporting to keep your immune system strong versus whether you're already having symptoms. So if you already feel like you're getting sick, running kidneys, like in either digital nutrition or in using the digital, not the digital per se, the bioenergetic harmony 1 or 2 for toxins, and then using the meridian systems for kidney to support the energy around it.
Mm-hmm.
So I always like to pair them for me, because it's like working on a physical level and then working on more of an emotional or mental level. If it's very much feels like the immune system depression is coming from more of emotional or stress oriented, then deep cycle is amazing, right? Because it's really getting in deep. Again, when I use deep cycle, I like to run a gold cycle first and then run a deep cycle after to combine the two, because the gold cycle is working more at that cellular level, and then the deep cycle is working more at that energetic level.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all your nuggets and your wisdom. And then again, so you're hosting your Wellness Wednesdays on the 1st and 3rd Wednesday of the month at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's the 2nd and 4th Wednesday.
Oh, whoops.
Which is very confusing because it changes depending on the month, right? Whether there's 5 Wednesdays or not. But yes, 2nd and 4th Wednesday of the month.
I believe.
And I'm always open to suggestions of topics that people want. So yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. And we'll put into the chat for your website and your YouTube so people can follow up and watch some of your replays from your other Wellness Wednesdays. And I thank you so much for all that you're putting out there for Healy's Field and helping encourage and educate us all with more ways to support ourselves with Healy.
Thank you.
Okay, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Andrea. That was all such useful information. I know there was a ton of great comments that you saw there in the chat, and I love how Gold Cycle is kind of the favorite and the go-to, because it's depending, no matter what edition that you have, whether professional or Resonance Plus, holistic, the Gold Cycle, for a lot of people, it's such a great place to start, but not start there and never go back there. It's just because the professional comes with all these other programs doesn't mean those Gold Cycle programs are any less valuable. So definitely love all this information. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's different watching myself on video, but it was good.
Yeah.
I'd like to jump in here if I could, just to offer a couple of additions to the wonderful presentation that Andrea just made. And that is to remind people that, as Andrea says, stress is one of the most important things that affect the immune system, as it affects everything in the body, because stress leads to inflammation, and inflammation, in my point of view, is the cause of all disease. But one of the programs that I always like to highlight that people are unaware of is the program called Bed Rest, which is a little bit of a misnomer. I wish they'd change the name, but basically the Bed Rest program is a program that switches a person from sympathetic to parasympathetic. So that gets you very quickly from a state of fight and flight to a state of rest, regeneration, and digest, or rest and digest. And if you're going to use the Bed Rest program, it's best to use it with the sticky pads and place them behind the ears on the mastoid bone. That is the best place to do that. And then the second thing I wanted to add in here was that in my practice, one of the most important keys for balancing a person's immune system, especially during this time of year, is taking vitamin D3. It is a real key. First of all, I test my patients to find out their vitamin D levels, which is something that is very helpful. So if you have never had a vitamin D level test, I highly recommend that next time you have your blood drawn, you ask for a vitamin D3 level, and it should ideally be between 80 and 100, 80 to 100. I keep mine very close to 80 all the time. And then I highly recommend, especially as we're going into the fall and winter seasons here, and we're going to start to potentially have some reappearing issues of viruses from the past, that people take 10,000 IU of vitamin D3 per day. That's my recommended minimum, 10,000 IU. I use a sublingual D3, but that seems to definitely raise people's vitamin D levels in their body and also absolutely support their immune system. So I wanted to throw that in there just so that people have some additional information.
Thanks, Doc Steve. Appreciate the additional info, and thank you so much, Andrea. This was amazing, and just a couple reminders before we close today's call. Two things. So next Thursday, November 17th, we're going to have our next Healy for beginners and beyond, and we're going to go. This one we're going to do a fresh unboxing of the Healy. It's been a couple months since we've done that, you know. We're going to kind of show now what the process is for somebody brand new coming in, their Healy that has the metal clip going straight into the new Healy app, not the Healy Pink Dot app, and then also just the initial setup in the Analyze app, the Blue Dot app, where there's no master key anymore for somebody new. Again, it's easier now, but we want to show that, have that recording available for everybody to share going forward, since that is the new simpler process that's been available for a month or so now with the new Healy app. But yeah, we'll go through that, and there's a couple other things. We'll put out the agenda probably by next Tuesday. We'll make that announcement on Tech Tip Tuesday, but just put it on your calendar if you want to join us 3 p.m. Eastern time next Thursday on November 19th, and the link to join that call is experiencehealy.world. And then also, and again, details, I think it'll be coming later this week or by this weekend for the final details and agenda for the big virtual event we have coming up on November 19th. That's going to be on that Saturday. It's going to be a big Zoom call with international guests. Very, very important international guests that we have all on that call, some local leaders too, international leaders, and be a ton of great content. And you will not want to miss that extended sort of Super Saturday virtual event. And those details will be available soon as far as how to join and everything too. So put those two on your calendar if you're available those days. I think the one on the 19th was starting at 10 or 11 a.m. from what I remember. But again, those final details will be available within the next few days. So all right, well, thank you everybody for joining us. And then yeah, again, this recording of this call will be available on our YouTube page, HealyAmericas.com. And join us next week on Tech Tip Tuesday, What's Up Wednesday, Healy for Beginners and Beyond, and then that Super Saturday on the 19th. So lots of great events coming up. So thanks everyone.
Awesome. Hey, real quick, guys, if you haven't saved the chat, go ahead and save the chat by the little 3 dots at the bottom of the screen so you can have those links that were posted. If you're on your PC, you can do that. If you're not, write it down real quick. Thanks for being here, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.